There we go. If you're new here, welcome to Sanctuary. We do these Sunday services every Sunday at 10 a.m. Eastern. Just a reminder to keep your mics muted throughout the service. So we do a 30-minute service where we'll have two readings. One is from the Tao Te Ching. We'll always read from the Tao Te Ching. It's our primary text at Sanctuary. And the other one is a rotating reading, which we're excited to keep doing new books and get suggestions from our community on different books to read. And these books are in alignment with our values for the most part. We try and pick books that are have a spiritual focus, but these books are for discussion, so they don't necessarily represent our views at Sanctuary. So we'll be doing two readings. We also have a meditation in our Sunday service, and we read from a poem together. Following the service, we do a 90-minute discussion, which will be led by Eric today. If you don't know much about Sanctuary and you're just hopping on here, head over to, if you got here, you probably already saw our website, psanctuary.org. We have a lot of information on there about our vision. But basically, we are a 508c1a constitutional church, and we commune with sacred mushrooms to connect with the divine. So welcome. I'm not going to go on for too much longer. Just want to get started with service. We hope you can stay for discussion afterwards. And without further ado, I'm just going to get started. All right. So I invite you to get in a comfortable position. Now we're going to do a short meditation. I invite you to take a few deep breaths. Just kind of wiggle your body a little bit, get out any morning coffee jitters or black tea jitters, whatever you're into, and get comfortable in your position. This meditation is pretty simple. The intention is to become more mindful of what we have going on in our body, in our being. Continue to breathe and just simply notice any sensations. Or thoughts that you may have coming up. You may experience that as you notice these sensations or thoughts, that they move, or maybe not. It's just an opportunity to touch base with yourself in this moment. Get curious about your experience right now. Continue to breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. You're feeling like you could use some additional grounding, and place your feet, your bare feet on the floor if you can. Just feel the grounding energy of the floor supporting you. Take a few more deep breaths as we close the meditation. I invite you to bring one hand to your heart and the other hand to your belly. Feeling your heart, breath, giving you life and energy in this moment. I invite you to offer yourself some gratitude for showing up for yourself and your community this morning. When you're ready, just take another deep breath and come back into the service space. Wiggle your fingers and your toes. Rotate your shoulders some and open your eyes when you're ready. I don't know about you all, but I needed that this morning. Okay. I'm going to invite Amy to read Dry Those Tears, chapter 2. Oh, Amy, you're muted.
Thank you. Good morning, everybody. One of the greatest weaknesses of the old theology was its tense. We were always getting ready for something better. We were always preparing to meet God. We were always postponing our good until some future time. We were always looking forward to eternal life. In rational theology, we know that what shall be is now. If life, God, is the beginning and the end, and we are created in that image, then we too are eternal and are living in eternal life now. In fact, the only time we can ever live in eternal life is now. Does that last sentence seem incredible to you? Work it out for yourself, weigh the facts, and reach your own conclusion. If you are ever to have eternal life, you must have always had eternal life. Eternity stretches as far in one direction as it does in the other. Here and now, we are living the only life we shall ever live. It is eternal, here and now. We are in the presence of God. All those whom we have called dead are as close to us as our last thought about them.
Thank you, Amy. Now we'll read our poem that we read every Sunday, a litany of gratitude. So I invite you, if you would like, to unmute your mic and read with me when I say we live in all things live in us. So I'll give you a moment to unmute if you would like. We live by the sun, we feel by the moon, we move by the stars. We live in all things. All things live in us. We eat from the earth. We drink from the rain. We breathe of the air. We live in all things. All things live in us. Call to each other. We listen to each other. Our hearts deepen with love and compassion. We live in all things. All things live in us. We depend on the trees and animals. We depend on the earth. Our minds open with wisdom and insight. We live in all things. All things live in us. We dedicate our practice to others. We include all forms of life. We celebrate the joy of living and dying. We live in all things. All things live in us. We are full of life. We are full of death. We are grateful for all beings and companions. Thanks, everybody. You can mute your mics again. Kevin, I invite you to read our Tao Te Ching chapter this morning.
Morning, everyone. Tao Te Ching, chapter 40. The movement of the Tao consists in returning. The use of the Tao consists in softness. All things under heaven are born of the corporeal. The corporeal is born of the incorporeal. Thank you.
Thanks. Okay, so now I invite you to grab your journal or a notebook and pen. Or if you want, you can just kind of reflect on these questions. So today we're reflecting on what are the implications if the reading, as in the Dry Those Tears reading, is true. Does this perspective change how you relate to the present moment, or perhaps change the way you might look at the passing of a loved one? How does it affect your perspective on your own mortality? So I'll give us 5 minutes to reflect on those questions. And this is something we'll bring to the discussion after service. Okay.
Theo, come on. Shh, come on.
Sounds like we've got a hot mic.
Hey, girl. Hey, girl.
Hey, Courtney, if you were talking there, I couldn't hear anything.
Same, I couldn't hear anything either. And then somebody wasn't
Can you
muted.
hear me now?
Yep.
Okay, sorry. I had my headphones on and they probably died unknowingly. My bad. Okay, starting again. We're wrapping up the service now. Technical difficulties. It's always different when your team members are traveling that usually do things. So, okay, so a few announcements before we move on to discussion led by Eric. We just wrapped up our second group sacrament service retreat in Brandenburg, Kentucky. So thank you to the members that were able to show up for that, and not just show up for yourselves, but also for other people on the retreat. It was a really special week. So thank you. And we're excited to announce that we've officially scheduled our next 5-night group retreat. So that is March 21st through 26th. I know some of you are on our wait list for that. So we'll be reaching out to you today or tomorrow. But you can learn more. Any of you can learn more by heading over to your member portal if you're a member. Our retreats are members only. You can head over to your member portal and learn more about the retreat and signing up, or you can always reach out to us at info@psanctuary.org. We do include 4 weeks of coaching, which is a very important part of our retreats, is preparation and integration. So coaching is included in the retreats. Also really exciting, you all keep hearing about our new and exciting Broadway space, which we have been slowly making more comfortable before we invite members in for events. But we have scheduled a market, which is open to the public on March 12th. So we'll have several different vendors in there, some of which are members. So we'll have mushroom inspired art by our member, Amy Hyde. We're also going to have a DJ that does biosynth sounds. For those of you who were at our subtle sacrament hike at Bernheim, it's that same guy. So you stick your hand in a bowl and he's got it hooked up to synthesizers and you get to hear your unique sound. So he's going to be there, and also some people, or a lady selling mushroom tea, and who else will be there? Autumn will be having some ceremonial cacao, and a friend will be set up, Casey, with Bless Up Meditations. She has Spirit and Earth conscious products with healing intentions. And we have a couple others that will be there as well. And of course, it's an opportunity to feel out our new space, which is where we'll be having more opportunities for subtle sacrament and congregational sacrament communion. So that's March 12th. Mark your calendars. And last announcement, Katrine's meditation, which is free for members, is this Thursday at noon. So you can find the link to that in your member portal as well. So without further ado, thank you all for joining us today. I think someone just asked a question, will products be for sale, be available for review online? That's a good question. Something we should consider. We will talk about that, and maybe we'll be able to list those products online too. That would be great. Okay, passing on to Eric.